Didn't send you the bulletin, darn. You go to my email and do attach. It should be at the top of my downloads. Oh no, I gotta download as a PDF first. Wait, I forgot to do this. Not out of the habit.
Hi. Good to see you.
On mine.
Okay.
So we just need yours. I just need to find it.
Oh, so I don't need to,
Don't need to email it to me.
Looks like I got taller. I'm going off the screen here.
there, and then downloads,
Kim, how are things at Martinez
Lot.
Biz?
Shabbat bulletin,
So far, so good. Everything's going well.
latest, it's the highest number 6, I'm pretty sure. Oh, nope.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
There we go.
Doing great, thanks. How about you?
Not too bad.
Uh,
No, every day's a different day.
yeah, well, I say I get up and
All
I can
right, we
stand up.
need to ask everybody to go on mute, please. Thank you very much. I'm going to apologize right off the bat. We are having an issue with the Wi-Fi. And so we're using my hotspot from my phone to connect tonight. I apologize if it goes out. We'll do our best to keep us up and running.
The audio got low.
I got to clean up my downloads file. Okie doke. How's that? Better? Is that better, everybody? On Zoom?
I hear you okay.
Okay. Oh. Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in okay.
You're very low on my end, though.
It's very low to me. I can hear Eileen and other people on Zoom much better.
Raising the one all the way. Oh, okay.
Oh,
How's
she's
that?
not looking into the microphone, that's why.
Okay.
No, it's on her head.
Friends, we need you to mute, please, so that we can get the sound adjusted. Thank you. I can't talk over you. Can you tell us through the chat if that's better? If it's better, thumbs up. No. Okie doke. We'll keep working on it. How's that now? No? Hello? No?
The same. It's still low.
Okay. How's that? Any better?
No. Nope. Mm-mm.
Any better now? Better one? Better two? Better three? Better
I hear you
four?
okay.
Oy vey. How about now?
Can hear you fine.
Okay, great. We know you can hear us, Mom. We need to know if everybody else can hear us.
Well, take them off mute, you'll be able to.
Well, please go on mute and give me a hand. Okay. Okay, great. Phew. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you're here tonight. Whether you're in the room, watching us on Zoom or on YouTube Live, it is a pleasure to be here with you on Shabbat. We are going to begin our Shabbat worship this evening on page 10. If you have the Shabbat Festival and Weekday prayer book, the big book, we are on page 128, Hine Matov. Hine matov u'mana'im, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 We're going to continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. Would somebody like to light the candles for us this evening? Okay, come on up. Yeah.
Microphone on and mute it, okay?
Just press the button. No, press the button on the microphone. Okay, choose either the first or second paragraph in English.
Okay. Of
Speak
light.
into the mic.
Oh, okay. Of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Oh, bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
The candles? No, you gotta light the candles first.
Okay.
Touch it to the wick. Press the button on the bottom. There you go, we got it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'yitzvanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, gentlemen. We are going to continue on page 6, 124 in the big book. In the middle of the page, let's read responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. We continue with Lecha Dodi. You will find it on page 20, 138 in the big book. As always, we'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we reach verse 9, we'll rise and face the door in the back to welcome the Sabbath bride. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litchila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala Bnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha hi mekor habracha merosh mikadem nisucha sof ma'aseh b'makshava tchila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela hitoreri kiva orek umiori Uri, shir daberi, Hivod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi bli kra kala, bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi, bli kra kala, bnei Shabbat nikabela. We continue on page 27, page 145 in the big book. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 26, 144. Yikadav yikadav shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, ub'chayedecho bet Yisrael. Ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'meru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam u'li'almei amaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu, leila min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'miru, amen. We turn to page 28, 146 in the big book. As able, we rise for the Baruch Hu and remain standing through the Shema. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Page 30, 148. Let's read together in the English. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Baruch you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Getting ahead of myself there. We're going to continue on page 373, but keep your finger in page 34. Page 373, 677 in the big book. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And you will know that you are one. Page 34, 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We are seated, and we continue together on page 36, 154 in the big book. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam leot ayadecha, v'hayu letotafot ben einecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish'arecha lema antis keru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 39, 157 in the big book. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, 158. Yai bye bye bim biddy bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai bye bye bim biddy bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. I die 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 die, yabba bye bye bim bum. I die 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 die, yabba bye bye bim bum. Mi mocha by lima donai. Mi mocha nedar bakodesh. No ratihilot o sefele. No ratihilot o sefele. Ma'alechutecha ra'uvanecha. Pokeya yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu be'amru. Adonai loch le'olam va'ed. Yai bye bye bim biddy bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai bye bye bim biddy bum, yabba bye bye bim bum. I die, yabba bye bye bim bum. I die, yabba bye bye bim bum. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 43, 161 in the big book. Let's read together at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai. Parei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, 162, Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם Berit Olam. We turn to page 46, page 164 in the big book. As able, we rise for the tefillah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imah Umevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem Lim'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umage. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham v'Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atarav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al givurot, Umito melach, melach memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We are seated. And we continue on page 55, 173 in the big book. Let's read together at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57, 175. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. We turn to page 61 for our prayer for peace, Lo Isagoy. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, Lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. We take a few moments for silent reflection and prayer, using the words on the next few pages or those that flow from our hearts. We continue on page 62, 180 in the big book. Yehiyu L'Ratzon. Actually, it's not in the prayer book. You'll find it on the back of your bulletin. Yehiyu L'Ratzon imrei fi v'hagyon libi. Yehiyu L'Ratzon imrei fi v'hagyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'goali, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you. Oh, my rock and my redeemer. Do we have anybody that has a birthday or anniversary this week that I don't know about? We turn then to, we turn our thoughts then to those who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. Page 253, page 371 in the big book. Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. Joe Adler, Patty Baker, Bruce Cawley, Sarah Cohn, Bruce Dalby, Brian Dalby, Nell Dalby, Carolyn Dowlin, Stuart Dowlin, Stan Drezick, Jeff Duncan, Christina Falkowitz, Vito Frescas, Robin Gabe, Bernard Gottlieb, Emily Hahn, Betty Heimer, Melanie Hudson, Abby Hughes, Suzanne Carfield, Jackie Klieger, Rick Kramer, Alex Langdale, Jenna Lesser, Arthur McLeod, Linda Manning, Linda Manning, Dennis Martin, September McLeod, Mike McNerney, Robert Medeiros, Carol Miller, John Robertson, Pamela Roberto, Shimshon Ben Avraham Visara, Bethany Sellers, Jennifer Simlin, Mike Stern, Marissa Urias, Karen Usatine, Kay Williams, John Wilson, Betsy Winokur. Are there others for whom we are praying for healing this Shabbat? Yep. Thank you. Anybody else? Yep, April? Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Lacey? Thank you. Anybody on Zoom? Anthony?
Marlene Trebley, Jerry Grant, Bonnie Ameson, Kevin Maloney. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on Zoom?
Ray
Mary Lou
Belanger.
Oh,
Sorry, Paula, you go.
Okay, thanks. Ray Belanger and Pam Bryan. Thank you.
thank you.
Mary Lou Lazowski.
Thank you. Anybody else on Zoom? For those whom we've named and those we name in our hearts, we continue. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, Lahachalimam Ularabotam Ulahachazikam, V'yishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah, Refuah Shlema Min Hashamayim, Refuat HaNefesh Urefuat HaGuf, Hashta Be'agalav Izman Kariv V'nomar. Amen. We continue with the Misha Berach that we sing together on the same page. There we go, that's better. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We turn back in our prayer books to page 245, page 363 in the big book. Would somebody like to help me with the Torah this evening? An adult for this one. April, thank you. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. We rise in honor of the Torah, continuing on page 246 at the top, and then 248, 364 to 366 in the big book. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlu Adonai iti, uneromema. Shemo Yachdav Lecha Adonai Hagdulah V'Hagvura V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod Ki Cho B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz Ki Cho B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz Lecha Adonai Hamamlacha V'Hamid Na'aseh Lecho L'Rosh Yismechu Hashamayim. You took off the crown. The breastplate. Hamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Please be seated. So last week, we read about the first 7 plagues. This week, we have the last 3 plagues. We have the plague of locusts, and then the plague of darkness, and finally, the killing of the firstborn of Egypt. We are just before the last plague. We've read the plague of darkness, and we are going to pick up from there. Let's join together in the blessing. You'll find it on page 250, 368 in the big book. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe v'el Aharon be'eretz Mitzrayim lemor. God spoke to Moses and to Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, HaChodesh hazeh lachem rosh chodashim rishon hu lachem lechodshei hashana. This month is to you the head of the year, or the head of months. It is the first, it should be the first month to you of the year. And then Dabru el, I know, we're Isn't that confusing? Is the first of Nisan is the head of the year? Aren't we used to Rosh Hashanah in the fall? It's actually in the Torah. It is the first of Nisan is the beginning of the year. Dabru el kol adat Yisrael lemor. Speak to the entire community of Israel, saying, Ba'asur lachodesh hazeh yichu lahem ish se labayit avot se labayit im. I'm sorry, se labayit. So on the 10th of the month, you shall take each family a lamb, a lamb. Every household should have a lamb. Ve'im yim'at habayit mihiot miseh v'lakahu ushcheno hakarov el beito b'micheset nefashot ish lefi ochlo techasu al haseh. So here we're already thinking about environmental issues. If your family is too small to consume an entire lamb, you shall take it together with someone who lives nearby you, and each shall contribute a proportionate amount according to the number of people in the household and how much they eat. Set tamim zachar ben shana yihiyeh lachem min hakvasim umin ha'izim tikachu. The lamb must be a male lamb must be unblemished and a yearling, so 1 year old. And you can choose between a goat or a sheep. והיה לכם למשמרת עד 14 יום לחודש הזה, ושחטו אותו כל קהל עדת ישראל בין הארבעים. So you shall watch over the lamb until the 14th of this month, and together with the entire assembly of the community of Israel, you shall slaughter them at twilight. V'lekacho min hadam v'natno al shtei hamezuzot v'al hamishkov v'al habetim asher yochelu oto bahem. And you shall take from the lamb the blood and place it on both doorposts and across the lintel, the head over the door. So that of all your homes, and I'm going to check. And in which they are to eat the lamb. Ochlo et habasar balayla hazeh tzlei eish umatzot al merorim yochelu. You shall eat the meat that very night, roasted with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. Al tochelu mimenu na uvashal mivushal b'mayim ki im tzalei eish tzalei eish. Tzlei eish rosho al karaav ve'al korbo. You shall not eat the meat boiled in water, cooked in water, but you must eat it roasted. The head and the legs and it's the entrails, the insides. Velo totiru mimenu ad boker, v'hanotar mimenu ad boker ba'esh tisrofu. You shall not leave any of it until morning. Anything that is left in the morning must be consumed by fire. V'chacha tochelu oto, matnechem chagim matnechem chagerim, na'alechem baraglechem, u'mekalchem biyedchem, ve'achaltem oto bechifazon pesachu la'adonai. And here's how you shall eat it. You shall eat this with your loins girded, with your sandals on your feet, with your staves in your hands. You will eat it hurriedly. It is a Passover offering to Adonai. Va'avarti be'eretz Mitzrayim balayla hazeh, v'haketi kol bechor be'eretz Mitzrayim, me'adam v'ad behema, uv'chol Elohei Mitzrayim, e'aseh shvatim ani Adonai. And I shall pass through the land of Egypt this very night, and I shall strike down all of the firstborn males in the land of Egypt, from humans to cattle, and all of the gods of Egypt I shall send punishment. I am Adonai. V'haya hadam lachem leot al habatim asher atem sham v'ra'iti et hadam upasachti alechem v'lo yihye bachem negev lemashchit v'hi koti ba'eretz Mitzrayim. And the blood shall be to you a sign on your homes that you live there, and I will see the blood, and I shall pass over, and I shall not, and there shall be no plagues that sent to destroy you when I strike down the firstborn in the land of Egypt. V'haya hayom hazeh lachem lezikaron v'chagotem oto v'chag la'adonai l'dorotechem chukat olam. And this day shall be for you a remembrance, and you shall celebrate this festival to God to all generations. It shall be an institution for all time. Tacho gehu shiv'at yamim matzot tochelu, ach biyom harishon tashbitu she'ar mavtechem ki kol achol chametz b'nichrata hanefesh hahi miYisrael miyom harishon ad yom hashvi'i. And you shall celebrate this feast of matzot, the festival of matzot, for 7 days. You shall eat only unleavened bread from the first day, and on the first day you shall remove all leavening from your homes, and you shall not eat any chametz, any leavening. And anybody who does eat leavening during these 7 days will be cut off from Israel. Miyom harishon ad yom hashvi'i Uvayom harishon mikra kodesh, uvayom hashvi'i mikra kodesh. Yihye lachem kol malacha lo yaseh bahem ach asher yochal lechol nefesh hu levado yaseh lachem. From the first day to the seventh day, the first day and the seventh day shall be sacred occasions, and you shall do no work on those days. However, you can prepare the food that you're going to eat on those days. Ushmartem et hamatzot ki be'etzem hayom hazeh hotzeti et tzivotehem me'eretz Mitzrayim. And you shall observe the festival of matzot, of unleavened bread. For on this day, I shall bring all of your tribes out from the land of Egypt. Ushmartem et hayom hazeh l'dorotechem chukat olam. And you shall observe this day for all generations. It shall be an institution for all time. Let's join together in the blessing after the reading. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. We rise in honor of the Torah. And April, if you would come back. V'zot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. We continue on page 256, 374 in the big book. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai, kiniskav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. Ki lekach tov natati lachem al rati al ta'azovu. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar diracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha Shalom, Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh Yameinu, Hikedem. Please be seated. And thank you, April, for your help. Last week, we read about Moses and Aaron going to Pharaoh, asking for permission to take their people into the wilderness to make offerings to Adonai. Pharaoh, not surprisingly, we know the story, said no. God's response was the first several plagues. In this week's Torah portion, the plagues continue. And for a moment, Pharaoh relents. Go worship your God, he snaps to Moses and Aaron. Who's going with you? Moses replies, we will all go with our youths and elders. We will go with our sons and daughters, our flocks and herds. The phrase youths and elders is a rhetorical figure of speech which uses two extremes to convey a totality. The text says young and old, and we're meant to fill in and everyone in between. The Ashkenazi and Weiss translation reads, we will all go, regardless of social station, rich and poor and everyone in between. Those who had assimilated into Egyptian ways, and those who had retained strong Hebrew practices, and everyone in between. Those who had power, and those who were powerless, and everyone in between. How powerful that in this moment, as Moses has first taken on the mantle of leading our people out of slavery, he insists that making offerings to Adonai is something which all the people must do. The Hebrew word avodah means service, as in the service of sacrifices we once offered at the temple in Jerusalem, now replaced by the service of the heart, which is prayer. We will read soon in the Torah about how the priestly system of sacrifice began in the wilderness, and then about the priestly apparatus which existed once the temple is built. But here in this moment, before the Exodus, Moses offers a glimpse of a radically egalitarian future in which all of us are called to be servants of the Most High. Not just priests, not just the men, not just those with social standing, all of us. Unsurprisingly, Pharaoh balks. May God be with you the same as I mean to let your descendants go with you, he sneers. He knows that it's not possible to serve two masters, and that if he lets us be in relationship with God, we will no longer be completely under his thumb. The Hebrew word for slavery and for service comes from the same root, ayin vet daled. This root is a recurring motif in this week's Torah portion. It appears in various forms 21 times. In the Haggadah, we read, Avadim hayinu, we were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt. And once we enter into covenant with God at Sinai, we become Avdei Adonai, servants of the Most High. The word denoting service is the same, but who or what are we serving? That's what makes all the difference. In the Jewish understanding, we don't shrug off Pharaoh's chains in order to be completely unfettered, free of responsibility to anyone or anything. The truest freedom comes in choosing to serve the greater good, to serve creation, to serve the source of love in the universe. Either our lives belong to Pharaoh, to overwork, to empire, to power over, or to that force which seeks to dominate and to own us, or they belong to the source of all, the wellspring of creation, the one who speaks and the world comes into being. The gift of Shabbat is that it removes us from Pharaoh's domain every week. No matter what our obligations, to our jobs, to the bank which holds our mortgage, to the social pressures or unrealistic expectations that we set for ourselves, on one day each week, we let all of that go. We stop serving our bosses and instead remember that we are truly servants of God, blessed and enlivened by that enduring relationship with something greater than ourselves. And that is true no matter who we are. Young and old, righteous and wicked, rich and poor, all of these binary pairs and everyone in between. All of us are called to offer our hearts and our minds. After 2 more plagues, Pharaoh changes his mind again. Fine, he says, all of your people can go, but leave behind your flocks and herds. And Moses said, no, We need to take everyone and everything. We shall not know with what we are to worship God until we get there. The simplest understanding of that line is that he's talking about animals for sacrificing. The Hebrews needed all of their livestock in case God asked for more sheep or goats. But I think this line from the Torah has a deeper truth, which is clear to us today in our post-sacrificial world. When it comes to serving God, we have to bring all that we are. We never know which parts of ourselves will be needed, which talents or skills or ideas or yearnings will fit the bill. We won't know, we can't know how we are to serve God until we reach each new moment, each new challenge. That's why we have to bring all of us, not only the whole community, but also all of each individual person's body, mind, heart, and soul. If we leave anyone behind, if we leave any part of ourselves behind, we won't be able to serve holy or serve the holy. When it comes to serving God, all of us have to bring our all. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, sorry, yep.
Oh, thank you, Rabbi. That was lovely. And I know I speak for everyone when we say we're so glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
And I just want to offer thanks again to those who helped lead services while Rabbi was away, Maury and Rob and Kim and Dennis. And am I forgetting anyone?
That's it.
All right, good. So, Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the room, everyone on Zoom, and those joining us on YouTube Live. Just a few announcements tonight. It is not too late to join Introduction to Judaism on Wednesdays. It started this Wednesday, but this is your last chance to join the class. You can register on our website. The Mahjong Club will be meeting at La Madeleine in Hebner Oaks this Sunday, February 2nd at 1:30 p.m. Our next member meeting will be held on Zoom at 2 p.m. Sunday, February 9th. That is a change. It previously was at 4, but it will be at 2. The link will be sent to you in your email and the documents that we'll be going over. Please save the date for February's third Friday no host dinner. That'll be February 21st. We'll be going to Carrabba's Italian Grill on I-10, just a little way from here. The NCJW will host a program for reproductive Shabbat on Saturday, February 22nd from 12 noon to 3 p.m. at Temple Bethel. You can register at the link that is in the bulletin. I imagine it's probably in the weekly email. I didn't get a chance to look.
It will be next week.
It will be next week.
They sent it to us after the newsletter was already in your email boxes.
Oh, that's it for this week. Shabbat Shalom.
There actually is one more thing that I forgot to put in the newsletter, and that is on February 14th, which it is my birthday, but the important thing is that it is also the day after Tu B'Shvat, like that day's Thursday night, Friday. So that evening, we will do a Tu B'Shvat Seder in place of our regular service. So I'll be sending out probably a Google form just so that we know the number of people to prepare for. We are going to continue with the concluding portion of our service, beginning with Aleinu L'Shabeach. You'll find it on page 283, 587 in the big book. As able, we rise. Aleinu L'Shabeach La'adon HaKol, La'teit Gedula Liotzer Breshit, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287, 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד. We continue on page 295, 599 in the big book. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat, we remember Melissa Bornstein, dear friend of Paula Goldstein, Dexter Sarayani, brother-in-law of Eileen Callahan, who are both in the period of Shloshim. We also remember J. Richard Langdon, father of Kevin Langdon, whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of death, is observed this Shabbat. We remember, is there anybody else who's remembering somebody for Kaddish or is observing a yahrzeit? Anybody online?
Yes,
Yeah, Sandra?
Mary Miller.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Gabriel Mejia.
Thank you. We remember 10 people who perished in the Holocaust: Henrietta Rubenfield, Esther Kram, Ernst Lowetsky, Hans Kerneg, Frederica Koneisel, Leopold Maashofer, Arthur Kiesner, Alfred Hirsch, Emmanuel Hirschhorn, Malvine Levy. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. As we turn to the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294, 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam v'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei kudsha brichu. Le'ela minkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Before we continue, please be seated. Before we continue with our closing song, I just want to say how much I am loving hearing the voices of children in our service. You're going to find our closing song on page 343, 647 in the big book, all the way at the bottom of the page. Ozi v'zimratya. Ozi v'zimratya ba'ili lishua. Ozi v'zimratya ba'ili lishua. Lishua, Ozi, Vezimratya, Vahili, Lishua, Ozi, Vezimratya, Vahili, Lishua. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Who would like to lead us in the Kiddush this evening? All right, Maury, thank you. You will find the Kiddush, if you want to follow along, on page 123. I'm sorry, page 5, page 123 in the big book. Did everybody who wants juice get it? Thank you.
Please join me. Oh, yes, you don't think I boom loud enough?
People on Zoom are connected to the microphones.
Oh, I see. Well, we can bring the words across the screen, can't we?
No.
Oh, we haven't gotten that far yet. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemase bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu vacharta viotanu kidashta Mikol Hamim B'Shabbat Kodshecha B'Yahava Uvratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen. L'chaim.
Thank you, Maury. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon